I haven't made one of these in a while. The idea behind today's video is just going to be to recap the trades we took this week. Last week we had a phenomenal week. We made, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 12-13% in the week. This week was another great week. We had, except today. I don't think the community or me, I'm not going to be taking any trades today. I had a good week this week as well. A total of 9, depending on how much you risk. I made about 12% again this week. Just risking a little bit over what I should be risking in few trades, but at least they paid off. But if you risked 1% or whatever the case might be, for the purpose of this example, we're just going to be risking 1%. A total of 8% was made again this week, meaning a total of 20% in 2 weeks in the community. That's enough to pass any challenge, I think. That's honestly anything a young aspiring trader can ask for. I mean, if you see the detail that goes into some of the trades, etc., and the how can I say, the interaction with me and my students, explaining why I took this trade, helping them where they struggle, etc. It's for the price of the community for lifetime while the sale is still on. It's too little. I'm not doing any favor to myself, but anyway, I'm here for the community. I'm here to help new aspiring traders to come up and find success in the market and become profitable, etc. But without any further ado, I'm going to go straight into, I think I'm still going to start off with one loss we took this week. So there was a total of 4 trades that I'm going to recap for you guys. 3 wins. Ironically, all of them went for 3. Well, I mean, I just rounded it off to 3, or some of them were like 3.4, some of them were 3.7 or 8, whatever the case might be. I just rounded it off for the purpose of a solid number, just to 3 on. So 1 loss and 3 trades that both went to 3 on. Okay. So I think let's start with the loss. Obviously, it's not going to be in order because I'm just going to start with the loss so I can explain what went wrong or where we could do better, etc. It was on the 29th London session. So let's just go back. Here's the loss. Okay. So let's just do this. Okay. So the number, let's do this. The number one thing I tell my community is directional bars. That's the most important thing. And for me, I personally feel that we kind of tweaked it a little bit on this day. We kind of went against it a little bit, and that's what eventually, bites us in the arse. So I'm just gonna, you guys see on the lower time frame, it made sense what we were looking for. But yeah, I mean, looking at the, ultimate high time frame, what you should be, the daily and the 4 hour, it was screaming bullish. It was screaming buy still. For me, another thing that added to the, how can I say, bearish confluence is because we came to the, the highs of what gold is. And normally, if you look at it, come up to the high dumps, come up to the high dumps, come up to the high and dumps. This one completely dumped all the way. So that was my thought process when a supply zone to the left here was, mitigated and everything. So that's what I looked for. And on the 1 hour, you will see, or it will become more clear, where I decided to take a sell due to the fact that this minor break of structure happened and this void had to be filled. Before I'm gonna, make that you can see all my tools and whatever that I used, I'm just clearing up the little bit of mess. But you can see that with the thought of gold being almost at its highest point it's been and dumping, this minor break of structure for me made sense. So looking back at it, I'm not angry at myself. I'm not disappointed. Yes, I didn't follow my directional bars, being the daily or the 4 hour, but for me, this made sense on the 1 hour where we hit the high or supply, mitigated a supply at the high of gold, minor break of structure on the 1 hour just before New York session, and or just within New York session, and maybe we had the void that needed to be filled. Um, You'll also see as we go down to lower time frames, everything set it up nicely. So I'm not disappointed in this loss. Um, but yeah, obviously I can say that yeah, we did break one or two of our rules, um, and that's what we could have avoided. We could have avoided a loss. So um, don't mind the blue. The blue is just London session. The orange is just for me New York session, just to make a clear indication of which is which. And then another thing, I don't normally trade gold in the New York session. So yeah, that's another rule I kind of broke, but the setup just looked too good for me to leave it alone. Okay, so as you guys can see, obviously with the orange, this is marked London, New York session. I wanted this low to go. I mean, this was the hourly low, the minor break of structure that I talked about, and then obviously price stepped up to this supply zone, mitigated minor break of structure, and that's where we took the entry. And I mean, obviously we took a loss. It is what it is. I'm gonna go through the wins now, the three wins. Just a few of them this week that we took, and yeah, I mean you'll see. I mean, this it is what it is. Trading, we're not gonna win every trade, but it is now that the negativity, if I can put it like that, of the video is gone. We can somewhat jump to the 27th, which was the first trade of this week, which was a London trade. 27th, which will be, yeah, okay, so it's obviously here. I mean, this is obviously my pair that I trade, this and some forex pairs that I trade in London session. This is obviously, I mean, we all can see that we are still very bullish. I'm not going to go into too deep of this, but I mean, we drew the block, we got our block. We can actually just get the time zone right, which will be there. Okay, so bars bullish, we added a confluence, we found support or demand here, minor break of structure, and yeah, I mean, we took the bars. We could have actually refined it here to that zone there. I think this is actually, well, I mean, you can, whatever it is, it's a percent, it doesn't make a difference to me. So yeah, minor break of structure to the upside in confluence with our directional buyers, and we targeted liquidity on this level here. Let me just mark it out for you guys. I mean, let's just do this, London. Okay, and there you go, price hit. Let's go into a bit more detail on the one, or on the entry time frame. For me was the 1 minute. I saw price made a higher low here, and then eventually, broke structure. For me, that was enough confirmation within or in confluence with our high time frame directional bars, to actually take the trade. So I set my limit, or my limit order here, and price just we spent some time in drawdown, but it wasn't too much for me. I took this, if price obviously broke this low here, for me it was going to break this low, hence the reason why I put my stop loss underneath this low and not this low. For me, I saw this as might have been liquidity, and for me, if this liquidity was going to be taken out, this low is going to be going, and this low is going to be going as well. So that's why I put my stop loss there, and I mean, that's history, that's trade. So that was a total for me on my MetaTrader. It showed a 3R. So for the purpose of calculations, well, personal calculations and percentage calculations, I'm going to go with a 3R. I mean, some of the students might have even caught a 4R, maybe even more. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm just going to jump straight into the second trade, or the third trade, my apologies, which was on the 28th, also a London bar. 28th, where's that? 28th. Yeah, okay, awesome. Let's just go back. So for me, obviously we can see we are bullish. I'm not going to go into much detail. I mean, I don't want to overcomplicate things. We are bullish, and yeah, let's keep it there. And then obviously we have our block handle, our block, our we call it the block, but now we can just make it, or the green block rather. Now we can just make it any color. I mean, everyone knows the meaning behind it. And for me, I think the 15-minute time frame can show. Yeah, okay. This is a better indication of the order block or the demand zone I was having a look at. And then obviously liquidity here was swept, which gave my third confirmation. So first confirmation was direction. We were aiming for bulls. Second confirmation was this block thing, which broke to the downside, which was the second confirmation. Third confirmation was liquidity was taken just above a level of demand. And I mean, if we look at the 1 minute, let me just quickly show you. For me, before I even take a trade, I need to know where I'm going to go, where I'm going to exit if I'm right, and where I'm going to exit if I'm wrong. So obviously I saw this level of demand. You could have taken the top one. I mean, that one would have also been mitigated. But for me, this was fine. I saw a level of liquidity here. I saw that nice level of supply there. It was still unmitigated. Obviously, price took out liquidity here. Yeah, obviously still trapped some sellers, and then price broke to the upside, and here was our entry. I sent the limit to the community, and I mean, obviously that was a very, very, very nice trade again. You see a 3.8, some people probably called a 4R. If you extended the thing, obviously it would have been a 4R, but for the purpose of personal calculations, etc., etc., apologies, that's the dog. On my MetaTrader, I'm gonna mark this down as a 3R, and yeah, that was the third trade. So we lost one, we up 6% so far with the winning trade. So obviously minus the one, it's 5%, and then the last one was also a London trade. This week, obviously the London took the number one position here. Which was also a 3R. So in total, obviously it's an 8R. But let's go over that quickly. Was it on the 30th? On gold. So let's just check. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. So let's quickly just do this. So here we can. So obviously I still have the same. How can I say? Buys that I did on the day before, the prior day, the 29th, on gold, where we talked about the minor break of structure, and we going to come down and potentially fill the void. But let's just have a look. For me, extra confluence that added was this low high that was made. Okay, so obviously then I stepped down, I marked out. So number one, we have our directional bars, which we are looking to sell. Okay, so for me that was number one. Number two was the lower high that was made. Okay, so that's another confluence. Number three was obviously our block that was taken out to the upside, meaning we're going to look for sales. Then we can come down and we can have a look. So obviously this was a low minor break of structure, and for me that is enough because we are in confluence with our high time frame buyers. And I mean, we placed the sell limit on, let me just, on this candle here, on that candle, stops above that high. I mean, if that high was going to be taken out, we probably would have, I don't know, follow the daily trend, which is still kind of bullish, I think. Or there's a lot of bullish momentum, but there is time and the probability of a pullback coming. And I mean, yeah, there's not much to it. For me, obviously, if you follow how can I say, structure, this was a strong high and this was a weak low, meaning this low had to be taken out in theory. So obviously that minor break of structure happened. I placed the limit, and yeah, I mean the target was this area of liquidity there. And yeah, I mean guys, that's it. I don't want to make the video too long. I want to keep it very educational, very, how can I say, trading driven. I don't want to talk too much. So yeah, I mean, with that, I'm gonna end off the video with a total of 8R for the week. 12% last week, 20% in 2 weeks. It's very good. I don't think we could have asked for a better start to the community. I don't think I'm going to be looking to take any trades anyway today. I'm going to take time. I'm going to spend some time with family and loved ones. I'm going to go clear my mind, probably go fishing or playing some golf or whatever I like to do. And I mean, yeah, till next week. And I'll still answer some questions here and there on the Discord. And yeah, and then I just want to remind you guys about the holiday sale. If you, for the community, I'll make an exception. If you get someone else, even if you're already in the community, you can join them for the free one-on-one, which I'm going to have with the two of you then. But obviously, two new people, $50 each, plus a free one-on-one explaining the strategy, going through some examples, etc., etc. So yeah, let me help. Let's help grow the community. I think $50 is way too. It's not enough, but I mean it is what it is. We need to grow the community. For me, money doesn't matter to me. I make my money with trading, and I say it humbly. I don't say it with a arrogant heart or anything. I'm just here. I want to help some people. I want to help a few traders, etc., etc. But yeah, guys, that's me. I'll check you guys next week. I'll answer to some DMs or anything on Discord or Instagram or whatever it might be. And but yeah, till next week.